So very soon, Mob Psycho's anime will be wrapping up. Well, at least I hope so. We'll see if I can finish this video in time. Mob Psycho has been a huge part of my life for the better part of a decade now. I swear there's not a day that goes by where I don't reflect on it or think about it in some capacity. I have so many emotions and feelings stirring about as this third season finishes, and I need to talk about it. And while it's not exactly dead, this is my eulogy to Mob Psycho 100. It makes for a better video title. Fair warning, I will be spoiling quite a bit, so this is mainly for people who have finished the series. So I caught the first season of Mob Psycho back in 2016 when it first aired, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I knew of One Punch Man and assumed this was kind of the author's less sung hero. And boy was that right, but also a ridiculous understatement. The first season took me by surprise in the best way possible. The show was beautifully animated, unique, funny, heartfelt, and most importantly, extremely well written. I was super impressed with how the first season wraps together its theming. A boy named Mob with insane psychic abilities wants to be a better version of himself, and feels as if his psychic abilities don't reflect his true strength. And that is a kind of spectacular message for an action-coded series aimed at young adults. You aren't special, you're human, like everyone else. But that does make you special. It means you can feel empathy and compassion. You can have friendships and relationships. You can evolve and become a better version of yourself. And that isn't because you're specifically special, that's because you're you. You're human. And Mob feels that too, even though everyone around him would do anything for powers like his. Everyone he meets in the show is special, not for what they're given, but for what they strive for. Reagan, for example, he isn't cool because he can exorcise demons. He's cool because he has the charisma and compassion to help those in need, even if it is sometimes for self-centered reasons. He's a good dude at heart, and that's why you love him. And he's funny. Tomi isn't special because she can talk to aliens or communicate with the undead. She's special because she's passionate and shares that passion with others. And we don't love Mob because he can make spoons fly. We love Mob because he's Mob. We can relate to him. We strive to be like him. We understand him and feel that compassion and empathy he feels. And hey, that makes us special too, because we're not special. We're human. If everyone is not special, maybe you can be what you want to be. That's the first line you hear in this show's legendary first opening. Think about how well that rings true. This series has this amazing way of tying everything to its central theme. All of the villains, all of the character arcs all revolve around this idea of being special, seeing yourself above others, losing that core element that makes us human, that empathy, that compassion. But the thing is, being special, being the center of your universe, is all about feeling that love for others. It's why at the end of Season 2, when after a desperate battle of differing ideals, Mob still is willing to sacrifice himself to save the villain. And what he says is,
力を持ってるだけじゃうまくいかないよ。でも、それでいいんだ。大事な部分を自分で選んで生きてさえいれば、僕の人生の主役は僕だから。だから自分で選んでここに来た。いくら嫌いな相手でもたった一人で苦しんでいるなんてやっぱりかわいそうだしだから助ける
I think this is why scenes like this are so emotional. We understand and relate to the desire for compassion like this. We want to be like this. At least I do. Maybe that's why it hit me like a truck. Speaking of, I don't think I could have asked for a better capstone to this central theming than Mob having to wrestle with his own self-doubt. The entire series, Mob writes off his powers and can't accept a part of himself that he seems to think makes him less human. So having the final story arc revolve around him accepting that part of himself, the emotional, destructive, arguably negative part of himself, is some powerful stuff. I don't know if this scene has aired as of writing this, but the final panel of this series gets me every time. Mob just having such a genuine smile and laugh. It's just so well done. I want to talk about this series also as a piece of art. A mangaka who had very little experience drawing and paneling, wanting to write and create, wanting to share a heartfelt story of empathy with people. It's just like too perfect a set dressing for a series like this. As you read the manga, you can see his skills improve and his eye for composition get extremely good. He begins to understand his own style and hone in on it way more. It goes from charmingly amateurish to a stylistic masterpiece in my opinion. The way he draws facial expressions especially, I don't think I've seen many mangas that can express such specific emotions like this series can, especially when the emotions and moods are so important to the story. I feel you need to know what these characters are thinking and the cadence they're conveying to get so much of this story to work. And I don't think I even need to explain if he succeeds or not in that. One is such an amazing artist. He created something I genuinely believe is making the world a better place. This series is also extremely inspiring as an artist. Talking from my personal experience, I have taken so much from Mob Psycho. Seeing the passion that one has put into this series is super inspiring. I think it's definitely part of why I created my own comic and why I work so hard on my art now. Seeing how hard he works, it's infectious. Just like everything else in his storytelling and writing, it just seems to bring out the best in people. I see so much fan art of Mob Psycho, some really cool, experimental, just passionately drawn fan art. This series feels like it's made for artists in so many ways. And it's also like really funny. Somehow within all of this, you have some of the funniest writing I've seen in an anime or manga. I think it kind of just shows the genuine nature of one as a writer. He's able to unapologetically be himself in his writing. People have a sense of humor, and he expresses that part of himself through his series. Kind of beautiful when you think about it. And the anime is just as impressive for entirely different reasons. I'm going to say it right now, I don't think an anime adaptation will ever be as good in my lifetime. Studio Bones' team outdid themselves with this series. The passion and care for this story is so palpable. The pacing is impeccable. When there's a shot that needs to be done justice, it's done justice. When there's fluff that needs to be condensed, it's condensed really well. I can tell there's a true mission statement to make this series get the best treatment it can. The story definitely resonated so much with that team. For example, with the animation, it's not just a coincidence that the anime looks as good as it does. This is passion. These are animators pouring their heart out into these scenes because they understand and want to make sure they convey the heartfelt nature of the manga, the passion and beauty of the manga. And let me just geek out for a second because oh my god, the animation in this show. When the animation is at full blast, it is a spectacle to experience. I don't think I even need to pitch this to you. It's very well known that the animation goes super hard in this show. This might sound corny, but this animation moves you. It really does. If there's one thing you can take away from this video, it's that this anime is an artist's wet dream. So many guest animators doing such unique and experimental ideas while staying so extremely true to the manga's style. It's almost remarkable how well it all comes together. A piece of art being treated and respected for what it is. A piece of art. How about that? I'm gonna miss this series. Like I said, I finished the manga years ago, but the excitement and universal love for this series will be sorely missed. It's hard to find a show so universally loved like Mob Psycho is. No drama or opinionated rants. Well, maybe there probably are, but the overall feeling towards the show is exactly what this show deserves. Love. It's a series about the beauty of life. What better way to celebrate that than all universally finding the beauty in it as well? Mob Psycho is a series I will truly never forget. Its characters, its animation, its music, its style, and its writing will stick with me until I die. Most importantly, its empathy, compassion, and its ability to bring out the best versions of ourselves won't be forgotten either. I hope this isn't too mushy. I just really wanted to type candidly about this series. If you can't tell, I kinda like it a lot. If you also like Mob, let me know in the comments. Let's make this a big love letter to this amazing series. Thanks for listening, friends.